Vrindavan ki, Vrindavan ki, Vrindavan ki, Navadam ki, Jagannapuram ki, Jammunamai ki, Gangamai ki, Tulsi Maharani ki, Bhakti ki, Sambir Bhakti ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Sri Radha Parthasarthi ki, Sri Krishna Sankirtana Jiga ki, O Premanandi. All glories to the Son of devotees. All glories to the Son of devotees. All glories to the Son of devotees. All glories to Divine Bodhisattva Sri Guru and Gauranga. So the Hindi translation over there. Good luck keeping up. I apologize to the translator. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Krishna Sadamo Bhagate Dhammaganadi Bisaha Kalana Sadasham Mesha Parono Konanodita Narayana Namaskritchan Ramchaivam Narotama Devim Sarsatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayat. So we are reading from Canto 4, Chapter 24, Text 19, correct? This microphone and I have a long-standing relationship. Is it possible to put it here? Maitre Uvacha Prachetasa Vitur Vakyam Prachetasa Vitur Vakyam Sirasadaya Sadavaha Disham Patichim Prayayus Tapasi Adrita Chetasa Maitreya Uvacha Prachetasa Patur Vakyam Shirasadaya Sadavaha Disham Pratichim Prayayus Tapasya Drita Chetasa Maitreya Uvacha Prachetasa Patur Vakyam. Okay. Maitre Uvacha Prachetasa Patur Vakyam Sirasadaya Sadavaha Disham Pratichim Prayayus Tapasya Drita Chetasaha
Tapasya drita chetasaha Maitreya uvacha Prachetasa patur vakyam Tirtasadaya vayasa Vaishnavis. Vaishnavis. Vaishnavis? Visham prachitam prayayu Tapasya drita. Nobody else from the ladies' side? You know, just as a sidelight, one of my favorite scenes, I travel a lot. We don't need to translate, do we? Okay. One of my favorite scenes is in the Bhagavatam class, all the ladies making these nice garlands. It's very nice, you know. Very beautiful garlands, nice. Okay. Maitreya uvacha. The great sage Maitreya continued to speak. Prachetasa, all the sons of King Prachinibari. Pitu, the father. Vakyam, words. Siddhasa, on the head. Adaya, accepting. Sadavaha, all pious. Cham, direction. Pratichim, western. Prayayu, went away. Tapasi, in austerities. Ajita, accepting seriously. Chetasa, in the heart. Translation. The great sage Maitreya continued. I'll say first. Your enthusiasm. There was, because it's my duty to tell some Prabhupada stories. We'll get to the class tomorrow. There was a young devotee who was about 3 years old. His name was Vaishnava Das. This is in USA. And he'd never seen Srila Prabhupada. He would hear, Prabhupada's picture, Prabhupada, Kusoma, Prabhupada. He's a nice boy. And one day Prabhupada actually came to the temple. So you can imagine, it's like, I don't know what. He was so enlivened, this boy. So Prabhupada's Vyasa-san was here. Prabhupada's sitting here, let's say. The door to the temple is here. So this little boy, 3 years old, came running into the temple room because he wanted to see Srila Prabhupada. Now there was a little bit of, we call it a door jam, but there was a little piece of marble. They have a door entrance. So he tripped on that. Didn't hurt him, but he tripped on it. And he fell on the floor. No, it didn't hurt him. But because he had, we call night clothes, pajamas on, one solid piece of cloth, and he was running, the momentum when he hit the floor, he slid all the way across the floor with his hands out like this. So Prabhupada saw him running, he hit the floor, and he landed right in front of Prabhupada's Vyasa-san with his hands out like this. And Prabhupada said, Dandavats. He was out like this, offering his obeisance. And then Prabhupada said, Utsaha, one must be enthusiastic about devotional service. Is it? Okay. So, I appreciate the enthusiasm, but I'm going to read first. Is that all right? Okay. And we just have to, with the wind, find the right page. Okay, here we go. The great sage Maitreya continued. Can we wait 1 minute? Okay? Take a deep breath. Okay. No, I appreciate the enthusiasm. The great sage Maitreya continued. My dear Vidura, because of their pious nature, all the sons of Prachinibari very seriously accepted the words of their father with heart and soul. And with these words on their heads, they went toward the west to execute their father's order. Now, all say you say. The great sage Maitreya continued. My dear Vidura, because of their pious nature, all the sons of Prachinibari very seriously accepted the words of their father with heart and soul. And with these words on their head, they went toward the west to execute their father's order. And Srila Prabhupada's purport. In this verse, sadhava, meaning pious or well-behaved, is very important, especially at the present moment. Prabhupada says, especially at the present moment. That's going to be our theme today. It is derived from the word sadhu. A perfect sadhu is one who is always engaged in the devotional service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Prachinibari's sons are described as sadhava because of their complete obedience to their father. The father, king, and spiritual master are supposed to be representatives of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and as such, they have to be respected as the Supreme Lord. It is the duty of the father. This is the other side. We have to offer respect. But do we just blindly offer respects? Can I just command? They have a saying in America, do as I say, don't do as I do. Well, if it's such good advice, why aren't you following it? Why don't you do as you say, you know? So there's a social contract. Social contract. The father has to be, the father should be respected. Father's providing so many things. But the father's essential duty is to deliver the charge from the cycle in birth and death. The king is respected, not because I'm the king, now give me whatever you have. The king is respected because he's supposed to be the representative Krishna of God. He's engaging everyone in devotional service. The whole society is going smoothly so people can spiritually advance. So there's a social contract. We offer respects, but those who are respecting, they have to deliver. Because sometimes they say, oh, Vedic system, you have your Varna and Ashram, and it's just blind obedience, and it's oppressive. But they don't understand the essence of the thing. That we did a word search for Iskcon's constitution, which is just now coming, for Iskcon's constitution. And constitution means it's a social contract. You know what a constitution is? Constitution lays out the relationships between the people in an organization or a nation or whatever it may be. Well, does India have a constitution? Yeah. Every nation has a constitution. And it describes how the relationships function. So we thought, okay, let's look at Manu Samhita, Law Book of Mankind, and get some hints. So usually they say that constitutions, especially nowadays, are talking about rights. Human rights, ladies' rights, gay rights, this right, everybody's got a right. Except for the cow. The cow they can kill, no problem. So we looked in Manu Samhita under rights. Nothing was there. You have a word search. You look in the English translation, nothing under rights. What is this? This is the essence. This is the Manu Samhita, the law book of mankind. Rabindra Swarup said, look under duties. When we looked under duties, page after page after page after page. So an advanced society is based on duties. I have an obligation to you. You have an obligation to this. The father has an obligation to the children. Children have obligation to the father. Family has an obligation to the state. And all of those obligations are targeted that let me advance in spiritual life. The higher one is respected in society, they have a bumper sticker in America, land of every possible illusion. In America, they have a bumper sticker. You know bumper sticker on a car? You with me? Yeah. Anybody home? Yeah. Okay, very good. And the bumper sticker on the car says, "The one who dies with the most toys wins." In other words, you just accumulate as much stuff as possible. Just as much stuff. You get as many cars as... We were traveling in Burma, and one man said, out in the villages, he said, "I have a 2-story house." So he was better than everyone with a 1-story house. But then there was a man in the audience, he had a 3-story house. So the 2-story man was depressed. 3-story man was afraid. But there was a man with a 4-story house. It went all the way up to finally there was one man in the village. He had a 6-story house. So everyone was offering, "Oh, you have achieved Ramgatin." They were offering all respects. So this is the strangest mic. I will pay for a new mic. You just remind me that it has its own weird personality. Anyway, the society is based on accumulating as much as possible. And I have rights. You owe me this, you owe me that. But the sense of duty, the sense of a progressive march, that is not in the social fabric. Prabhupada says here, and why that matters we're going to get to. Prabhupada says, he's talking about well-behaved or pious, is very important, especially at the present moment. I saw one when I was coming from the airport. I think it's for a candy bar or an ice cream. And the slogan is, what is it? It says, "Can't wait, won't wait." Have you seen that? Some candy bar. Can't wait for it, won't wait. It means I have absolutely no sense control. I see it, I want it. And they're celebrating. Can't wait, won't wait. Well, you know the Nike saying? You know Nike? Just do it. So you're standing on a 4th floor window, and I say jump. Is Nike's advice to you very good? Do it. Just do it. Is that very good advice? Shouldn't you think before you do it? That would be a better slogan. Think before you, not just do it. The animals just do it. So the point is that all of these subtle messages, Prabhupada tells a story. When do we go to? Okay. Prabhupada tells a story about how we're influenced by what we hear. How we're actually created, crafted, molded by our culture. Unknowingly. We are unknowingly manipulated. And human form of life means to wake up. Does anyone here like to be cheated? Suppose you come to Badri Narayan's convenience store. Badri Narayan Swami convenience store. And you purchase something. It's 100 rupees cost. You give me 1,000 rupees. I give you 100 rupees back. Jai. Do you just stand there? Do you say thank you very much? You very politely say, "Swamiji, where's the rest of my money, you know?" And if I say, "Oh no, I gave it to you, it's there, you just didn't see it." Well, what is this, you know? There's no CCTV, there's no witnesses. He cheated me. No one likes to be cheated. Anyone like to be cheated here? If you like to be cheated, then I will open Badri Narayan's convenience store and I'll send a prophet to the TOBP. No one likes to be cheated. But we are being cheated at every single moment. because of all the messages that are planted in our brain. The average American under hypnosis can remember over 357 commercial jingles. That's stuffed in the brain. I'm going to say it again. The average American under hypnosis can remember at least, minimum, 357 commercial jingles. You know, this Nike, just do it, Coke is the real thing. It is fuzzy, fizzy water that rots your teeth. It's the last thing. Milk is real. Milk is the real thing. Is Coke the real thing? What do you think? Can you live on Coca-Cola? It'll rot your stomach. It literally. There's a man who comes to the temple. He works in a Coca-Cola bottling factory, and they puts all the bottles, into the trucks. He's a young man working his way through college, and sometimes they drop those cases. You drop a whole case. So he has big, thick leather boots. Now he has, synthetic, but he had big, thick leather boots for working. And in 6 months, the bottles breaking and the Coke spilling on his boots rotted through the leather of his boots. Yeah, it's a corrosive substance. Coke is the real thing. So no one likes to be cheated, but the human form of life is, what is it? Atato Brahma Jigyasya. In the human form of life, we should wake up. Don't be cheated. So we're going to get back to pious in a moment, but I want to tell a joke. And ladies, please don't take offense. You can reverse this joke, and you can put men, okay? So the men can tell it with ladies, the ladies can. It's a universal joke. The point is that everyone, we all think, oh, you Hare Krishna. When I first came to the temple, in my dull mode of ignorance, mode of passion, just trying to hear Prabhupada's transcendental voice, I came late to the lecture. And one of the first things I ever heard Srila Prabhupada say was, we have so many do-nots. We have so many do-nots. I thought he said donuts. Donuts, the pastry? And I was trying to become a devotee, so I wasn't eating any eggs, because, we don't eat those things, And so I was trying. And everything baked in America has eggs in it. I love sweets. I'm a sannyasi. I don't eat so many, but I love sweets. In my mind, I love sweets. So, and I wasn't able. And of sweets, I love pastries. And of pastries, I love donuts. But all the donuts have eggs. What to do? I can't eat them. So when Prabhupada said, we have so many donuts, I thought, fantastic. I've come to the right place, I said, nice philosophy, chanting Hare Krishna and donuts, sign me up. Where do I sign up? I'm in, But then as I listened, I said, oh, he's saying do not. Prabhupada said every process has yama and niyama, You have do's and you have do-nots. The farmer in the field, he has to plant the seeds, right? He plants the seeds, he puts the rice shoot in. But he has to pull up the weeds, isn't it? You just plant the seeds, you just put the shoots in, the weeds will choke everything out. You just pull the weeds, but you don't put the seed. What is the use? So every process has yama and niyama. So Prabhupada was explaining that, but I was still back like, oh, no donuts, So the joke, so everyone, we think we're independent. I'm independent. I'm making a choice. Prabhupada says, one man is thinking, Krishna, give me $1 million. I could serve you so nicely. If you don't give me $1 million, I'm going home to my mother. We think so many things. So here's the joke. We think we're independent, but we are controlled by so many things. There's an experiment. It was done by MIT. You know MIT? IIT trembles before MIT. Actually, it's changing a little. MIT is a little worried about IIT. But so they did an experiment about perception. And they gave people glasses that inverted their sight. So everything was topsy-turvy. You with me? So, and then they had them perform ordinary tasks, like to pour water into this cup. But because everything's inverted, I have to hold the cup like this, and I have to pour the water down, and it goes like this. Yeah, everything's inverted. And to bounce a ball, was really difficult to bounce a ball on the floor because you're bouncing it up. Everything's inverted. But lo and behold, the curious thing is that within some time, I don't know how long, but it wasn't long. It was maybe even hours. It was certainly within days. People became quite adept at it because they were wearing the glasses. They became quite adept at it. No problem. When they took the glasses off and they were back to the so-called normal reality, the actual standard, the real world, so to speak, everything was difficult. They had to learn again how to pour glass, how to bounce a ball. So because by that environment, they became completely twisted. And to invert back required another step. So, Prabhupada said about brainwashing, the average American, 357 commercial jingles in the brain. They said this chanting is brainwashing. Prabhupada said if the brain is dirty, shouldn't you wash it? Then Prabhupada told the men, actually, first get a brain, then we'll wash it. The man said, I have a brain. I was sitting right there. He said, I have a brain. Prabhupada said, if you have a brain, it's cow dung. At which point the guy had nothing to say, because Prabhupada was making the point, you don't know the Sanatana Goswami, when he approached Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Now, Sanatana Goswami was prime minister for the Nawab Hussain Shah. That's the entire state of Bengal. The British put their capital in Calcutta because Bengal was so wealthy, so developed. That's where they put their capital. And he's the prime minister. He spoke so many languages. What did Sanatana Goswami say when he met Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? He said, everyone calls me Pandit, but two things. Did he ask, I can't hear Krishna's flute? What did he ask? Hey, Ami, who am I? And what is the sister question? And why am I suffering? Who am I and why am I suffering? These questions, if one is not a human being, if he does not ask these questions, who am I? Why am I suffering? This is the beginning of human life. Adato Brahma Jigyasya. So here's the joke. My point is, everyone is controlled. They're thinking they're free. There are so many restaurants. When you drive today, if you go out on your preaching work or whatever you're doing, if you drive more than 25 minutes, let's be easy. Let's say 15 minutes. Let's say 10 minutes. 10 minutes out and then 10 minutes coming back. I want you to count for me how many restaurants you see. Little eating establishment, little snick snack or restaurant. You count for me how many you see. Just 10 minutes out, 10 minutes back, and then report back. Do you think you can do that? No, it's difficult. There are so many, isn't it? I mean, I was shocked. I thought, let me try. I tried to count on the way from the airport to here, I lost track after 5. There were so many. Because people, and I was thinking, they're all open. They must be making some money. There must be some customer. Otherwise, how are they open, Isn't it? They're not charity work. They're not food for life, There must be some purpose, some profit. That means how strong is the tongue? Think about it. So many restaurants, so many people just be pulled, but what is it? A bull. You've probably seen this too. Sometimes you see the little cowherd boy, little small boy, especially in Bengal I've seen. Small boy. You've seen Vrindavan too. And you see the big, big, big bull. Have you ever tried to get a bull to go the way you want it to go without a rope? Try to push it? Is it an easy thing? No. Very difficult. You've never seen. You see these brown Swiss. A brown Swiss. The shoulders of a brown Swiss are up to my head. They are a massive animal. How does that little cowherd boy control the bull? Anybody know? By cell phone? No, how? A little ring in the nose. Because this part of the nose on a bull is very sensitive. So although he's a big, big bull, they have him by the nose. Prabhupada said the fish is captured by the tongue. You know? Just imagine if we saw a big gulab jamun floating past. And all we were hooked into, pulled out into the ocean. You know? So they're controlled by the tongue. What is the deer controlled by? Here's the hunter's flute. It becomes very attractive. What is the bee is captured inside the lotus when the lotus closes at night. And honey also you could say. The elephant. How is the elephant captured? Prabhupada, I don't know such. Maybe you can tell me. But Prabhupada says he's captured by the she-elephant. They make a pit. Yeah, big elephant is there. Who can stop a big elephant? But they make a pit, and they cover it with straw and grass so the elephant can't see it. And on the other side, they put a nice she-elephant. Nice bangles, kumkum, kajal, I don't know, And the elephant, very nice. And when he walks, he falls in the pit. So in these different animals, one sense is strong. For the elephant, sex is very strong. For the bee or the taste, or smelling, whatever it is, tongue. In each one sense is strong. But in the human form of life, all the senses are very strong. So we are controlled by these things. And we're being cheated by it. They have a saying in America, righteous anger. Anger, lust, and greed are the three gates to hell. So we don't like anger. But righteous anger, that we like. No. They have a saying in America, fool me once, shame on you. You cheat an innocent person, that's not a good thing. So fool me once, shame on you. The same person fools me twice, shame on me. Why? First time, shame on you. But if I come back to you again and you cheat me again, who's the fool? Me. So shame on you. But if I do it again, shame on me. We are being cheated again and again by the material nature. So the joke is this. A man dies and he goes to heaven. Okay? And when he gets to heaven, there's a long, long line. There's a long, long line. There's two entrances, okay? When he gets to heaven, there's two entrances. One has a signboard over it that says, men controlled by their wives. Long, long, long line. The other entrance has a signboard over it that says, men not controlled by their wives. Only one man is standing there. So the new arrival thinks, now remember ladies, you can tell this in reverse about the men. So the new arrival thinks, why get in the long line? Why get in a long queue when there's a short queue? So he walks over to the one man standing under the signboard, men not controlled by their wives. Said, everyone's standing over there. You're standing over here. Why? He says, I don't know. My wife told me to. And I tell you, householders always laugh more about this because they know what it's like. So, but everyone is controlled by something. They're controlled by the tongue. They're controlled by lust. We're controlled by pride. Prabhupada tells a story. Two men. They're traveling together. They get to the bank of a river. They want to cook something for bathing. They want to get some water. So there's a bank. So they decide, okay, we'll cut this rope. We'll drop it into the water. We'll pull the water up, no problem. But they need to cut the rope. One man says, I have just the tool for the job. I have some brand new German steel scissors. Oh, very impressive. The other man says, I have a brand new Swiss army knife. If you cut with your scissors, it will fray the edge. But my Swiss army. So they get in a big argument. Which is better? Army knife, scissors, knife, scissors. They get in a big fight. Finally, the knife advocate, he's a big guy. He grabs the little scissor advocate, and he's holding the scissor advocate under the water. He says, I will drown you if you don't agree that my knife is better. Even though he's underwater, the scissors man holds his fingers up and goes like this. So it's Prabhupada's example. We are so stubborn. The ordinary person has to work so hard. It requires so much money. Brahmacharis don't know this, but to maintain a family, they think, oh, the wife is home, cooking pakoras, she'll fan me and give me nice, when I get home. No. The father has to work. Does the mothers now work in India? Yeah. When I was growing up in America, the father worked, mother didn't have to work. Actually, the mother had her job. Her job was raising nice children. It's not easy job, hard work. So now the mother works, the father works, the poor children, they're put in daycare and grow up completely neurotic and full of anxiety. So the point is that it's not enough just to be pious. I'm just trying to think how to cut everything into a short amount of time. We have so many do-nots. We have so many Of course, there's ultimately just one rule. Always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. Rupa Goswami says, accept whatever is favorable for Krishna, reject what's unfavorable. So we have simple, mantras. But we are serious. Because they took the instructions on their head. Suppose I say to you, young men, touch your nose. Oh, no. You, touch your nose. Touch your nose. Yeah, for real, touch your nose. No. We'll try one more. Touch your nose. Yeah. No. You have to go like this. This is Prabhupada's example. We make everything so complicated. But the purpose of human form... Let me ask you a question. Suppose your house is on fire. May this never happen to you. Let's say householder, your house is on fire. You wake up in the middle of the night, the house is being consumed by fire. Before you call the fire brigade, before you do anything else, what is the first thing, your first instinct, what is it to do? You run out of the house, isn't it? The first thing you do is run out of the house. So suppose, Narayan Swami, Bogus Swami, I'm sleeping in my house. I see the fire. I'm running out. When I run out of the house, I go through the kitchen. And I think, kitchen's on fire. I'll lose it. When is the next time I'll have a good meal? I better make a sandwich. So I stop and I make a nice sandwich, or I'm making a little veg. What would you think of such a person? What would you think? Huh? Smart guy? Prabhupada was speaking one time in Darshan. I was sitting there. And one man, he was fidgeting this way, that. In this case, he was controlled by his wife, and it was a good thing. Obviously, his wife had dragged him by the ear and said, you have to listen to this sadhu. So it was a good thing. So the man was looking at his watch and moving this way and that. So Prabhupada said, sir, what is the issue? What is the problem? We were thinking, he's sitting on an anthill? What's the problem with this man, He said, I have a very important appointment. I can't miss it. I have a very important appointment. Prabhupada said, you have only one appointment, and you will not miss it. Anyone know what that appointment is? Can you say to Yamaraj, no, Thursday 4 o'clock doesn't work for me. How about never? Does never work for you? We don't have control over anything. There was a man. It's a little sad, but it's true. We had an earthquake in San Diego. And there was a 3-story building, because at nighttime, the building collapsed. And when the building collapsed, all the gas lines break. Picture a 3-story building collapses, all the gas lines break. When the gas lines break, if there's any kind of electrical or flame, the building catches on fire. So this man was on the 3rd floor. The building collapsed. He survived the collapsing building. He survived the fire, unscratched. He was standing out on the street because he wanted to get some distance from the building. It's nighttime. He was standing out at the building thinking, man, am I one lucky fellow. He was hit and killed by the fire truck coming to put out the fire. So, we're not in control of anything. The fact of the matter is, we're not in control of anything. Death can come at every moment. And we are wasting our time being cheated by the senses pulling us this way and that and useless promises. So here it's describing sadhus, an actual sadhu. Now, one other thing I wanted to say. One of the things that attracted me to the beauty of the Vedic literature, I used to read books in America about great yogis. You would read about, autobiography of a yogi, and they could, levitate a glass of water. Of course, what about Yogeshwar, who's levitating, billions of tons of water in monsoon time, That they don't think about. But they go, he can float a glass, so he must be Bhagavan, But anyway, I was reading about these different yogis. And they also have Christian mystics. They have, in Christian tradition, there's also mystics who perform great austerities and do different mystical things. They have histories of their lives. But to obtain that state seems so distant to me. You follow? I thought, am I going to have to go to the Himalayas, as we say here, and live on one chickpea a day in a cave? I can't do that. I don't have the strength to do that. How to do that? It describes here how the Prachinibari, the Prachetas, they came to the West. So Srila Prabhupada, he came with the order, just like they had the order on their head. So Prabhupada came with the order of his spiritual master on his head. He came to the West. And not only did he describe what is Krishna consciousness, what is a God-conscious state, not only what it meant, what real happiness means. You know what happened? Prabhupada was on a walk in London. And because they're British, they're genteel. And when the villagers would pass Prabhupada, some of them would say, "Good morning, sir." Prabhupada would respond back, "Good morning to you." So it became a habit. They would see Prabhupada, they would say good morning. Prabhupada would say good morning back. Prabhupada asked to the devotees, he said, "Do you know what this good morning means?" Prabhupada said it comes from a British, like a benediction. May you have a good morning. May things go smoothly. May you have a good morning. It's a well-wishing for you. Prabhupada said, do you know what good morning for the materialist means? Prabhupada said it means nothing horrible has happened yet. That's good morning for the materialist. Prabhupada said only a devotee can say good morning. Think about it. We wake up, first thing we do, nice japa. We come to Mangal Arati, we see the beautiful deities, nice saintly Vaishnavas, we chant Hare Krishna. I guarantee, Prabhupada said, till I take my morning shower, I feel dead. Prabhupada said that. I heard him say it. Till I take my morning shower, I feel dead. So whatever the mind is thinking, we get up, we take our shower. Let me ask you a question. Do they have boxing in India? Do they box? Boxing? So you have two combatants, right? One corner, one combatant, other corner, another combatant. Ding, 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 they come out, bang, 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 right? So suppose in this corner, you have the announcer. In this corner we have, weighing in at 550 pounds, 6'6" tall, we have the mind. And in the other corner, weighing in at 120 pounds, 5'2", we have the little jiva. Now, if you have a boxing ring, and you have one guy is 325 pounds, 6'7", and in the other corner you have a little guy, who are you going to bet on? If you were a gambler, who would you bet on? The little guy, 120 pounds, skinny little arms, can't even hold up his gloves? Who are you going to bet on? The big guy, right? But they tell you in sports, psychologically, get the first goal. Get the first basket, get the first goal. The Israeli army, they always go forward. They do not go back. They do not have retreat in their dictionary. And it scares the daylights out of anyone who plays. They know if I don't kill that guy, he's coming for me. And it scares them, you know? So in our boxing arena, suppose the big guy, this is going to be easy. One swat, this little guy's finished. And the little guy jumps up, bam, 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 bam. The big guy's got a black eye and a bloody nose. What is this, you know? So when we wake up in the morning, the mind at 320 pounds says, you don't want to get up. You're tired. You're probably not feeling well. Do an inventory. How's your stomach? You're tired. You were out late last night, isn't it? The preaching program, the devotee next, he snored all night long. Don't get up. And the little jiva, the intelligent little jiva says, no, we're getting up. We're going to Mangalarti. Be quiet. Bang, 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 bang. Get in the shower. So we get in the shower. We get nice, clean cloth. We come before the deities. We chant Hare Krishna. If you get, and we feel happy. And the mind is controlled. So do we want to be controlled by the mind? Do we want to be controlled by the senses? Prabhupada said, one of the first things I heard Prabhupada say, suppose I invite you to my house. Let's take a house. You're a nice gentleman, nice householder. Suppose I invite you to my house. Come for lunch prasadam. So he comes to the house. Through the open door, he sees all nice prasadam that he likes, everything he likes. Gulab jamun, samosa, green coconut kachori, everything's there. But then he also notices that right behind the door is a big man with a stick getting ready to beat him as soon as he walks in. Does he walk in? Does he think, there's green coconut kachoris, you know? Oh. So all we ask is, unless one is pious, unless one learns the art of controlling his senses, unless the mind becomes steady, unless the intelligence becomes steady, that's one of the reasons. There's why we have so many do-nots. Why we get up in the morning, why we take a bath, why we do it, why we careful what we eat, all these things. When we follow these things, then the mind becomes peaceful, the intelligence becomes steady, and then we can understand transcendental knowledge. So we should probably in there, I'm hoping that you have a few questions. Does anyone have a question? Here's what's going to happen. No one's going to ask a question. Then some brave soul will raise his hand, and then everyone else will raise their hand. So do we have one brave soul? And don't ask me a Stump the Swami question. Don't ask me in the fifth mantra, what was the name of the wife? Give me a real question, okay? Yes?
Haribol.
No, he has his hand up. Yeah, what's your question? Yeah. Yes. And one last thing.
Hare
What is with this mic?
Hare Krishna.
No, wait, but I want to say something.
Hare Krishna.
Wait, just Shanti. I want to say something first. Sorry.
Can I ask?
No, you wait 1 minute. I'm sorry to disappoint you, but 1 minute. I'll call on you next, I promise. Guaranteed. Prabhupada met a priest in Detroit. And the priest was challenging. I won't give you the whole conversation. But the priest was quite heavy. I mean, first thing he said to Prabhupada was, you're coming from India, but why are you coming here? He said, we're already here. We're doing our work. We're doing our religious work. We've got the field covered. Just like if there's a farmer in a field and another farmer comes into the field, starts planting his plant. Hey, what are you doing here? Go to your own field. So the man said, go back to India. The man said, just like that. He said, there's people starving in India. I mean, because the Indian government, in those days, used to come and beg, from the American government. And they used to say, everyone's starving, so the American government would give it. They painted a very bad picture of India, actually. The early government officials from India, just so they could beg something. So, Go back to India. People are starving in India. Go back to India. And what are you doing to help? They said, what are you doing to help the handicapped? And Prabhupada, right out of the blue, Prabhupada quoted a verse from the Bible. Prabhupada said to him, your own Jesus says, the poor will always be with us. I guess Prabhupada learned it at Scottish Churches College, I don't know. But Prabhupada was making the point that, okay, we have our Food for Life, we have our eye camps, we do things. But suppose you fix someone's eye and all they do is then watch Bollywood films. Have you helped them? Yeah? You fix their teeth and they go out and eat, a McDonald's burger. Have you helped them? So Prabhupada was saying that there will real help means to give someone divyagan, transcendental knowledge. So the man was arguing. And the man kept saying, oh, we're also doing that, back and forth, right? So he kept saying, what is the difference between you and us? What is the difference? So Prabhupada said to the man, do you agree that humankind is suffering? Do you agree that the population of the world, everyone is suffering? Different degrees, different type, but everyone is suffering. The man said yes. Prabhupada said, why are they suffering? The man said, they're suffering because they're separate from God. Prabhupada asked him, why are they separate from God? The man said, because of sin. And Prabhupada slammed his hand down on the table and said, that is the difference. He said, we only are teaching how to lead a sinless life. And you look at it, oh, Jesus died for my sins. Okay, and there's many good, we can learn humility from the Christians, we can learn charity from the Muslims, many things we can learn from other people, don't get me wrong. Buddhists are very usually good. I just came from Burma. They're humble, they're modest, they're gentle, many good qualities. But how to lead a sinless life? Now, suppose I go to Bill Gates' house. I remembered what I wanted to say. Suppose I go to Bill Gates' house, okay? And I meet Bill Gates' son. And we're chit-chatting, we're having so much fun, this and that. And then I leave. I come back. Oh, no, I'm out driving my car a few weeks later. I see Bill Gates' son. His clothes are all torn. He hasn't shaved. He's all, bedraggled. He's selling pencils, He's wiping down cars, getting a little rupee, paisa. So I say, what happened? I stop my car. I say, hey, what happened? He said, I had a huge fight with my father. I bought Apple instead of PC. But I had a big fight with my father, So, and I told my father, I won't listen to you, and I left the house. Now I'm too proud to go back. I have no money and what to do. Now I have a choice. I can give Bill Gates' son $100, isn't it? Yeah, it's a lot of money. Get yourself a shave, get yourself a good meal, stay in a hotel for a few days, no problem. What's better than that? The motivation is good. I've done something kind. But what's better than just giving Bill Gates' lost son $100? What's better? Yeah. But not just that. I say, come on, get the car. So I drive back to his father's house. I say, you wait here. I leave the boy in the car. I go back, I check with the father. I say, I have your son in the car. Immediately the father says, oh, where was he? I was so worried. I didn't know how to get a hold of him. How is he? Does he need anything? Then I say, oh, your son, he's so sorry he lost his temper. He didn't mean what he said. Father says, bring him immediately. Father and son embrace, problem solved, isn't it? So this is what we are doing as Vaishnavas. We are restoring that relationship between the Jiva souls and Krishna. Once that relationship, Prabhupada said one time, you think you're sitting on the floor? He said, I am sitting on the hand of Krishna. So for the Vaishnava, he's sitting in the hand of Krishna. All of his problems are solved. So that's what we're giving. That is the message that Prabhupada brought to the West. Now, one last thing, and then we'll take your question. And then we'll be done. Oh, geez. But I'll take your question because I promised, then we'll be done. Okay, I'll just take your question. It's fair. Yes, Guru.
What do you do? Later I can ask. Okay, no problem. Later I can ask. You finish.
Later you can ask.
Okay, can I ask?
Go.
Yeah. Prabhuji,
Go, then he wants to stop.
yeah.
Go.
Maharaj?
Yes.
Okay.
Stop.
Dandavat pranam. Dandavat pranam.
Same to you. I'm hoping there's a question in here somewhere.
So mind associated with the three modes of nature. Above mind there is a intelligence. Above intelligence there is a soul. If you are in a proper Krishna consciousness, soul platform, below everything is worked properly. So my question is, you are in a conditioned state. Even though you are filled intelligence with the spiritual intelligence, you are in a conditioned state now. So you are trying to become a pure devotee by sadhana bhakti, etc. So even though your intelligence filled with the spiritual intelligence, but three modes sometimes bewilders us. You cannot control mind certain cases. Even though your intelligence is, this is wrong, but mind is bewilders. And that how? Bewilders. Bewilders.
Why are we bewildered? Let me answer your first question first. As far as if my intelligence is bewildered, how will I understand anything else, right? One devotee wrote to Prabhupada questions about Tulsi. You can read it in the letters book. There's about 32 questions about Tulsi Devi. It's a long list. Prabhupada wrote, he answered in a letter, Prabhupada wrote back, he answered 5 or 6 questions. Most important questions Prabhupada answered. And then for the rest, he said, use your common sense. But he didn't end there. Knowing us oh so well, he said, and if you don't have any common sense, ask someone who does. So the point is, we should ask others. The most difficult thing in this world is to ask advice. Everyone is so proud. But if we just sadhu sangha, we ask, you read in the Shastra, what is the advice of Shastra? You ask your spiritual master, Diksha Shiksha Guru, and you ask, and you take their advice. The qualification of the Prachetas, their success, is they took it on their head completely. If different things have different levels of conductivity, rubber has practically no conductivity of electricity, right? You with me? A little bit better is water, right? A little bit better is steel. A little bit better, I think, is copper, yeah? A little bit better is platinum. You go up, and it's fiber optics or whatever it is. There's, they have different things that, Now, what determines the quality of conductivity for those different mediums? Anyone know? Do we have an electrical engineer in the house? Anyone know? And I'm going to give you a big hint from Bhagavad Gita. Ye yatamam prapadyante. Yeah, I know the rest. I'm giving you a hint. Thank you, though. Appreciate it. What determines the conductivity of those things? The degrees of resistance. The more you resist, the more that particular substance resists, less current flows. Less resistance, more current flows. The more we surrender to Krishna, the more Krishna's mercy, Krishna's instruction, it flows. In our neophyte stage, and believe me, Prabhu, I'm a neophyte. 45 years at the job, and I'm just beginning to realize what a neophyte I am. So someone thinks, oh, I'm a 2-year devotee, I'm hearing Krishna's flute. Okay, Hare Krishna to you, but, So, yes, the intelligence is bewildered. Because I'm a fool, should I stay a fool? What can I do? I'm a fool. Should I stay a fool? So whatever the intelligence may be, whatever the mind may be, whatever the senses may be, engage in the process. Krishna consciousness works. The senses become controlled. What does Krishna say? It's a progression that, I'm trying to think from Bhagavad Gita, but it talks about you can't understand transcendence without pure intelligence. You can't have pure intelligence unless the mind is controlled. You can't control the mind unless the senses are controlled. So that means if you control the senses, then the mind becomes controlled, then the intelligence controls, then you come to the soul. So if you engage in devotional service, who's smarter? I'm going to ask some, I don't want to pick on you. Who's smarter? My mind or the 6 Goswamis? What do you think? 6 Goswamis. And the 6 Goswamis, they under Srila Prabhupada came to the West. He stood in Times Square. When Prabhupada came to New York City, when you sail into New York City, it's quite impressive. I mean, the Statue of Liberty is there, the big river is there, the huge skyline of you could drop Delhi, the skyline in Delhi, you could drop in a corner of New York City, you wouldn't even see it. Very impressive. You know what Prabhupada observed about New York City when he first got there and was walking around? Huh? It's a hell. That he also noticed. He said the whole place smells like dog stool. In America, they clean up after their dog. Do they do that in India now? No, it's a law. If your dog, you're out walking your dog. First off, why are you walking a dog? But you're out there walking your dog, right? Your dog does his business. You have to pick it up with a plastic bag and you carry it home with you. Yeah, it's the law. So you see these Americans, they've got the size of the dog and the size of the bag. Sometimes they have a big bag and they're carrying it. You know? So, I don't know exactly how we got off on that. But the point is that we should not be so... Our intelligence has cheated us so many times. There's a jailer. There's a city. And in that city, there's a mayor in America. That mayor makes everyone in the jail wear a bright pink, like a woman's color, pink jumpsuit. You know, they have to wear a pink uniform. Now, these are big, hard criminals. You know, they're murderers, they're rapists, they're thieves, they're big. And they have to wear pink. You know, when they get them slippers, they have to wear some shoes. They're little pink bunny slippers. So can you, I don't know if you can follow me, but can you imagine what it does to the pride of those big guys? They would rather, you're going to send me to, I won't commit the crime if I got to wear that pink suit and the bunny suit. I'm not doing it. So, but just wearing this body, we have this material body. This body is like a big pink bunny suit. Prabhupada said the devas, the demigods, they won't even come and pass urine on this planet. So to be in this material world, to be in this material body, we have been cheated again and again and again. So we should put aside this intelligence. I'm not going to be cheated this time. We simply follow the 6 Goswamis, we follow the Vaishnavas, we follow the Shastra, and lo and behold, back home, back to Godhead. And Prabhupada said, and we will end here. Prabhupada said, I was sitting in the room, Bhagavatam class, Henry Street, New York. Prabhupada said, you chant 16 rounds a day. Not so difficult. You follow the 4 regular principles. It just means you're a human being. It just means you're not a donkey or a monkey or a whatever, gorilla or something. So chant 16 rounds a day, follow the 4 regular principles, serve the Vaishnavas. We're serving anyway. We're serving the tongue, we're serving the wife, we're serving the husband, we're serving the nation, we're serving the taxman. We're serving anyway. Why not serve the Vaishnavas? And Prabhupada did 16 rounds a day, follow the 4 regular principles, serve the Vaishnavas, spread Krishna's message, and you will see Krishna face to face in this lifetime.
Haribol.
And just to confirm, Jayadvaita Swami raised his hand. You know Jayadvaita Swami. He was a brahmachari. He's a knight. He's a smart, nice knight. And he asked very respectfully, but he said, Srila Prabhupada, we are so fallen. Maya is so strong. Are you in this lifetime, 16 rounds, 4 regular principles, serve the Vaishnavas to the best of our ability, spread the message of Krishna? We don't have to be we just be best of it, and we'll see Krishna face to face. Prabhupada said, face to face, why not? So don't be cheated, don't be in anxiety, just chant Hare Krishna, serve nicely in Iskcon, serve the Vaishnavas, and go back to Godhead. Okay?
Hare
Hare Krishna. We can end there. Thank you very much.